Hello, welcome back with Yunnia, and in this opportunity, I would like to tell about stress and intonation. Stress is the relative force with which a sound or syllable is spoken. First, empathic stress. Empathic stress is one reason to move the tonic stress from its utterance final position is to assign and emphasize to a content word. The example is first, it was very boring, it is unmarked, and the second one, it was very boring, it is empathic. Second, contrastive stress. In contrastive context, the stress patterns can receive the tonic stress provided that the contrastively stressed item can be contestable in that universe of speech. The example are, first, do you like this one or that one, and then, I like this one. Third, tonic stress. Tonic stress is an intonation unit almost always has one peak of stress. The example of tonic stress are, first, where are you from? And second, I'm from Wales. Fourth, secondary stress. Secondary stress is the weaker of two degrees of stress in the pronunciation of a word. And the last, quaternary stress. Quaternary stress includes the reduced vowels. In English, there are two very simple rules about word stress. First, word has only one stress. Second, stresses cannot be one word. In linguistics, intonation is the variation of pitch when speaking. Intonation is the music of language and is perhaps the most important elements of a good accent. The example is, consider the statements, Nancy booked a new house on Thursday. The figures shows different intonation counters for the statement with stress on each word present in it. First, for intonation, there are statements. The example of statements is, we live in Moscow. She is 10 years old. And then, instruction. The example of instruction is, close your books and listen. Open the door, please. Next, most WH questions. The example of most WH questions is, where do you live and what are you reading? After that, question tag expanding. The example of question tag expanding is, would you like to go for a walk or would you rather stay home? And the last, end of a list. The example of end of a list is, I booked some tomatoes, potatoes, and lemons. Second, rise intonation. There are yes or no questions. The example of yes or no questions is, are you ready to start and have you read this book? And then, question tag when you are unsure of the answer. The example of question tag when you are unsure of the answer is, it's a beautiful town, isn't it? And she knows him, doesn't she? Next, question tags where both parts are affirmative. That's all, and see you, peace.